Hello everybody and welcome. This is an audio commentary by Joseki for my StarCraft 2 YouTube channel, Joseki SC2. This is my first commentary that I am going to be posting to my channel, hopefully one of many, and I'm really looking forward to doing a bunch of these commentaries. The beta's been down. I haven't really been on top of doing it just because I've been kind of busy actually in real life, surprisingly. So regardless, we're getting closer and closer to the time of that Phase 2 beta, and here I am doing my commentary thing. So a little bit of background on myself. It should be my bio as well, but for those of you just tuning in, I'm Joseki. I'm a longtime Warcraft 3 / StarCraft player. I was never very good at StarCraft. I was pretty solid at Warcraft 3. Definitely not on the level of like the top pros though, but also a pretty decent player. So I do have some RTS background, and in the beta, I've climbed pretty high in the ladders. I've been rank 1 in all the ladders I've been involved in. 2200 ELO, Platinum when that was a big deal. Diamond really never had to settle for how that actually worked out, but in the future we will see. I was played for Root Gaming for a large chunk of the beta as well. It's a great team there, lots of famous people. So yeah, that is my little resume. But today we are going to have a game of PandaLoner against NewLifePrime. And the Prime and Panda clans are two Chinese clans, or a Korean and a Chinese clan. So it's pretty interesting. We're going to see how this matchup plays out. This is Terran versus Protoss on Blistering Sand, so I'm going to go ahead and get this unpaused here. Fast forward kind of quickly through the beginning here because they're just sort of building workers, getting ready. And I'm going to start talking about a little bit of analysis, a little bit of shoutcraft. It's hopefully going to be a pretty good mix. I feel like the battles, it's a lot more fun to shoutcast them. It makes them a little bit more exciting, whereas the other elements of the game, the base builds and the positioning and that kind of stuff, it's a bit more fun for me to analyze. So if you look out here, PandaLoner is going to go ahead and put down that barracks there at the 12 food mark. He's going to follow that up likely with his refinery here on 12 in just a moment. Actually, do refinery on 13. Protoss player himself getting his gateway relatively quick here. So God, it just feels so slow. Once he has, his gas, he's going to get his gas now. He's going to get that gateway up, and he may or may not make a zealot, followed up with a cybernetics core, and then another gateway, potentially robotics bay as well. So there, you could see any number of deviations in this Protoss build. But again, this is the Protoss player NewLifePrime against PandaLoner, and we do have the scout probe being pretty annoying here in the Terran base. Definitely something that scout probes are better at doing than any other race, simply because of how fast their shields regenerate. Orbital command on 15. Very standard play here by the Terran, basically as standard an opening as it gets. Lots of different openings have been coming abound lately in Terran versus Protoss. For Terran, nothing is really too standard. You can see anywhere from 1 to 3 barracks. You can see fast factory, delayed factories, fast expansions, slow expansions, tanks, no tanks, late tanks, early tanks, siege mode, never, siege mode as fast as possible. The amount of deviation in what Terran can do versus Protoss is pretty substantial. So seeing that, we're going to see exactly how that's going to play off it in this particular game. We do have PandaLoner doing what I consider the most standard possible first 5 minutes of the game, where PandaLoner is going to opt for a fast Marauder with fast concussive shells and a second barracks on 20. So this little opening here for the first 5 minutes is basically what I do every game versus Protoss. I feel like as though it's the most standard thing in the world. And I mean, he's going to send out this first Marauder and this Marine. He's going to try to do a little bit of harass. By the time he gets over to really engage the Protoss player, he's going to be in a position where his concussive shells are done. So if there are any stray stalkers out for NewLifePrime, they're going to get taken out like immediately. So this pressure here is something that is very common in Terran vs Protoss. If you look, this is a really nice play here. He brings one little SCV with him to soak up a little bit of extra damage so his main units don't get hit. And now the Protoss player here is chrono boosting out that first stalker, getting another stalker on the way, and now has his robotics facility. So with his next 100 gas, he's going to get an immortal and then immediately start his second gas. The Terran player here actually being kind of cute, setting up a bunker at the bottom of his ramp to try and sort of contain the Protoss player. This is kind of a cute little move here. We do have another Marauder on its way, and once the second Marauder gets here, I imagine he is going to do a little bit of moving out here. But if you look, this is a kind of nice play by NewLifePrime. Making some zealots to support that stalker. One of the common mistakes that a lot of these players, a lot of lower level players make, not these players, but lower level players, is that they make too many stalkers early. 3 Stalkers loses to 3 Marauders. You know, you need a Zealot in the mix, even though you can think like, oh, you can just kite that Zealot around with Marauders, sure, but if you have Stalkers as supporting DPS and Zealots tanking it, it actually works out really nicely to where you only need 1 or 2 Stalkers to defend off these early rushes, but you need a lot of Zealots. So Zealots are a pretty big key piece of the puzzle to sustain DPS with your Stalkers. While this is happening, Terran player being very smart here, throwing down an expansion of his own, and setting up a 3rd barracks. So he is going for a fast expansion that involves a lot of barracks, which is, I say, fairly normal. But as far as how it really works out is you can do a couple of things. This barracks could have very easily been a factory as well. He could get a 2nd gas any time here. And you could actually go for like a 2 racks with bunkers. But I mean, on Blistering Sands, you do have to run that risk of having your destructible rocks broken. So if you look here, this is actually kind of nice. This bunkers here, he's going to be able to get a free Stalker. But if you look, he's going to know that the Protoss is going to break out soon. I imagine he's going to jump out of that and salvage it any time now. A Protoss player hopping out the back. Really nice player. If you look at PandaLoner's view, he does notice that this is actually being broken here with this Marauder. Hopefully he sees it. If he doesn't, he's actually going to be in deep shit because his whole army is stuck against this pressuring wall here. Command Center being morphed into an orbital command, doing that right away like a very good player. And now PandaLoner getting a 2nd reactor, so he's going for a very healthy amount of Marines, which is kind of odd. Usually you see a bit more Marauders versus Protoss. Now NewLifePrime getting a scan thrown down on his base. And he is going to see a Twilight Council, as well as another 3rd gateway getting thrown down. So right now the Terran player knows he's actually not in any risk of an all-in. He's not at any risk of you know, just being attacked and killed here. He has a very large army. Stim is almost finished. He's going to have plenty of Marines if there's a Void Ray proxy. He has definitely enough Marauders. He has, looks like 8 Marauders and a 9th on the way. And now he has a 4th barracks being constructed. So PandaLoner really committing to a lot of early bio play here, which is definitely very standard. When you deviate out for your factory, kind of just depends on when you feel safe. If you look here, this is actually kind of interesting. NewLifePrime throwing up a expansion at the gold, so definitely not something you normally see. Gold expansions are not the way that most players like to play. It's a little bit cheesy, a little bit you know, something that if it goes unscouted, it's definitely going to win the game for him. And now PandaLoner coming in with a huge army here, going to focus down the Immortals first. If you look, those Zealots are actually getting fried. He's microing back his army very carefully, making sure to pick off the Zealots out of range of those range units. And now the Immortals are in the front lines, getting focused down by all the Marines. If you look, that's just really nice play there. And now this huge bio ball of the Terran army is going to be able to take that out. And now PandaLoner going to come down here and scout this gold expansion. I don't know if he's seen it. He has not seen it, but wow. Great game sense here by PandaLoner, able to detect that his opponent may be doing something fishy as PandaLoner, it looks like he scanned the natural of the Protoss and he was like, okay, well, if he hasn't expanded at all yet, that is completely ridiculous.